Prepare yourselves, for a great spiritual war is approaching, and you who are chosen will play a fundamental role in this war. But what is this war about? To understand this, you must watch this video until the end. Have you noticed how the world seems increasingly divided? How people are drifting apart, creating invisible walls that separate them? This duality, which manifests in various forms, good against evil, light against darkness, love against hate, is rooting negative feelings and cultivating an atmosphere of hostility. But why is this happening? Why does it seem like we are becoming more and more disconnected, trapped in endless battles against those who should be our brothers and sisters? Let's understand this better. Imagine a scenario where the forces of evil are always vigilant, ready to sow discord and disharmony. These forces use an old but extremely effective rule: divide and conquer. By planting seeds of hate and distrust among us, they weaken our bonds, fragment us, and consequently make us easier to manipulate. This subtle and insidious tactic works in various ways. It can be through political, religious, social divisions, or even within our own families. When we find ourselves in constant conflicts, we lose sight of a fundamental truth. We are all parts of a greater whole. We forget that deep down we are the universe, we are God in his many forms and manifestations. And this is where the importance of the chosen comes in. Those who, in some way, have awakened to this reality. You who are listening may be part of these chosen. People who feel deep in their souls that something is not right, that there is a hidden truth waiting to be revealed. And this truth is that duality is an illusion created to keep us trapped in an endless cycle of hate and separation. So, how do we combat this duality? How do we fight against these forces that want to keep us divided? The answer begins with awareness. We need to recognize that we are being manipulated, that the hate we feel is not really ours but a tool used against us. Now that we understand how duality is being used to separate us, let's delve deeper into the tactic of divide and conquer. Think for a moment about all the forms of division that surround us daily. In politics, we are constantly divided between left and right, progressives and conservatives. In religion, we have various beliefs that often put us in conflict with those who think differently. Even on social media, where we spend a significant amount of our time, we see fervent discussions that only serve to create more distance between us. But who really benefits from this division? Certainly not us, the common people who just want to live in peace and harmony. Those who benefit are the ones who have something to gain from our chaos, those who wish to control and keep us disunited. They know that a fragmented society is a weak society, easy to manipulate and dominate. And this manipulation is not obvious. It is subtle, infiltrating our minds through news, entertainment, and even the education we receive. We are constantly bombarded with messages telling us that we are at war with each other, that we should fear and hate those who are different from us. And the result? We become blind to the fact that we are all connected, all part of the same universe. However, the truth is more powerful than any lie. And the truth is that this duality is not natural. It was created and nurtured to keep us divided. We need to open our eyes and see beyond the illusions imposed on us. We must question what is presented to us and seek the true essence of things. And here comes the importance of the chosen. You, who are awake to this reality, have a duty to help reveal this truth to the world. You are the candles that will illuminate the darkness, showing everyone that unity is possible, that we can overcome these divisions and reconnect as one humanity. How will we do this? The first step is awareness. We must share this message, talk about these tactics of manipulation, and help people see how they are being used. We must promote dialogue, encourage empathy, and remind everyone that deep down, we are all the same, and we must not fear. Because fear is the most powerful weapon of the forces that divide us. By becoming aware of these tactics and uniting our voices, we begin to break the chains that keep us imprisoned. We initiate the process of healing and reconnection, and this is just the beginning. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a vast ocean. Each drop of water in this ocean seems individual and separate, but in reality, they are all part of the same body. Now, think of humanity. We are like those drops of water, seeming separate, but in fact all connected by something greater. This connection, this feeling of unity, is something that the forces of evil try to hide from us. They make us believe that we are alone, isolated, different from each other. They create the illusion that we need to compete, fight, and distrust one another. But this separation is a carefully constructed illusion. The truth is that we are parts of a whole. When we look at others, we are really looking at a reflection of ourselves. And it is this connection that the chosen need to rediscover and share with the world. Because when we realize that we are one, we become immune to the manipulations that seek to divide us. But how do we see beyond this illusion? How do we break the barriers that have been imposed on us? The answer lies in awareness and love. We need to cultivate the awareness that everything is interconnected, that every action, every thought resonates in the universe and has the power to change reality. One way to do this is through meditation and introspection. By silencing our minds, we begin to feel this universal connection. We realize that separation is just a facade and that deep down, we are all part of the same divine essence. And then comes love. Love is the most powerful force in the universe. When we truly love, unconditionally, we break down the barriers of separation. Love allows us to see beyond superficial differences and connect with the essence of each being. The chosen have the mission to spread this awareness and this love, to be beacons of light in a world often shrouded in darkness. By doing so, we not only combat duality, but also heal the wounds it has caused. Remember that the power is within each of us. When we choose unity over separation, empathy over hate, we become spiritual warriors in this great battle. And this battle is not fought with weapons or violence, but with truth, compassion, and understanding. Chosen ones. We have talked about duality, the tactic of divide and conquer, and the illusion of separation. Now let's talk about awakening to the truth. Because before we can combat these negative forces, we must first recognize their existence and understand their impact on our lives. Can you imagine living your whole life with a blindfold over your eyes? You can hear, feel, and touch, but never see. Now imagine someone gently removing that blindfold. The light may be intense at first, and the outlines of things may seem confusing, but gradually, you start to see clearly. This is the process of spiritual awakening. For many, this awakening begins with a sense of discomfort, an intuition that something is not right. It may be a feeling of dissatisfaction with everyday life, a realization that conventional explanations do not make sense, or an incessant search for something greater. If you have ever felt this, you may be on the path to awakening to the truth. The truth, as we mentioned before, is that duality and separation are illusions. We are all parts of a single whole, and when we realize this, we begin to see the world with new eyes. But this awakening does not happen overnight. It is a gradual process that requires an open mind and heart. The chosen have a vital role in this process. They are those who, having begun to awaken, help others do the same. They question, investigate, and above all, share their discoveries. Every conversation, every act of kindness, every attempt to understand another is a small battle won against the forces of division. But awakening to the truth also means facing some uncomfortable realities. It means recognizing how we have been manipulated and how we have contributed, even unconsciously, to perpetuating this manipulation. This can be painful, but it is a necessary step toward liberation. And once awakened, the next step is to act. It is not enough to just see the truth, we must live it. This means making conscious choices that promote unity and harmony. It means resisting the temptation to engage in pointless conflicts and instead seeking solutions that benefit everyone. Spiritual awakening is not just an internal transformation, but also an external one. It is about transforming our communities, our societies, and eventually the entire world. And this starts with small daily actions: a smile, a word of encouragement, an effort to understand another's point of view. As more and more people awaken, we create a domino effect. Each awakened person inspires others, and thus, the collective consciousness begins to change. And it is this change in consciousness that weakens the forces of duality and separation. We are delving deeper into understanding what it means to awaken to the truth. Now, let us explore the crucial role you, the chosen, play in this great spiritual war. Throughout history, there have always been individuals who stood out for their ability to see beyond appearances, to question the established reality, and to seek a deeper truth. These individuals, the chosen, are those who have the ability to lead others out of darkness and into the light. But what does it mean exactly to be chosen? It is not just a title or a special designation. Being chosen means having the courage to face the lies and illusions that have been imposed on us. It means having the willpower to seek the truth, even when it is uncomfortable or difficult to accept. It is, above all, having an open heart and a curious mind. The role of the chosen is multifaceted. First, you are the awakeners. You are those who, through your actions and words, inspire others to begin their own awakening process. This can be done in many ways, through deep conversations, through art, through writing, or simply by living a conscious and compassionate life. Second, the chosen are the healers. They recognize that duality and separation have caused deep wounds in humanity. These wounds manifest as hatred, fear, and distrust. The chosen work to heal these wounds by promoting forgiveness, empathy, and understanding. They help others see that although we may have been divided, we can come together and heal as one. Third, the chosen are the bridge builders. They seek ways to unite people, even those who seem to be on opposite sides. They recognize that true strength comes from unity, and that together we can face any challenge. They create spaces for dialogue, promote cooperation, and encourage solidarity. Finally, the chosen are spiritual warriors. But unlike traditional warriors, they do not fight with weapons or violence. Their fight is a battle of consciousness, truth, and love. They confront the forces of duality and separation with the light of understanding and the strength of compassion. They know that true victory is not about defeating the enemy, but transforming hatred into love and separation into unity. As chosen, you have the responsibility to be beacons of light in times of darkness. Every small act of kindness, every effort to understand another, every moment of compassion makes a difference. You are the hope for a better world, a world where duality and separation no longer reign. Now let's focus on practical strategies for living as chosen in daily life. First, let's talk about the importance of self-care and spiritual strengthening. Being chosen is a great responsibility, and to fulfill this role, we need to be at our best physically, mentally, and spiritually. This starts with daily self-care practices. Take time to meditate, reflect, and connect with your inner essence. This will not only strengthen your spirit, but also give you clarity and focus for your actions. Practicing gratitude is another powerful strategy. When we express gratitude, we shift our focus from things that divide us to things that unite us. Gratitude connects us to the abundance of the universe and reminds us of our mutual connections. Make a conscious effort to be thankful for the small and large blessings in your life. This creates positive energy that spreads to those around you. Another crucial strategy is conscious communication. Often divisions arise from misunderstandings and lack of communication. When speaking with others, choose words that promote understanding and empathy. Listen actively and seek to understand the other person's perspective, even if it is different from yours. Conscious communication builds bridges and dissolves barriers. Practice acts of kindness daily. Do not underestimate the power of a kind gesture. A simple action can have a profound impact on someone's life and create a ripple effect of positivity. Whether it's helping a stranger, supporting a friend, or volunteering in your community, these actions are tangible ways to spread light and combat darkness. Connect with nature. Nature is a constant reminder of our interconnectedness. Spending time outdoors, observing natural beauty, can help us feel this connection more deeply. Moreover, nature has a calming and revitalizing effect, essential for maintaining our positive and centered energy. Educate yourself and others. Knowledge is a powerful tool against manipulation and division. Seek to learn about different cultures, beliefs, and perspectives. Share this knowledge with others, promoting a broader and more inclusive view of the world. Remember, ignorance is fertile ground for division. Education is its antithesis. Practice compassion, especially in times of conflict. When faced with situations of hatred or misunderstanding, compassion can be a transformative response. Understanding that everyone is fighting their own battles helps us respond with empathy instead of anger. This disarms conflicts and opens space for dialogue and reconciliation. Finally, cultivate community. Engage with groups that share your values and work to promote unity and harmony. Together, you can create a support network and amplify your efforts. Community is a source of strength and resilience, essential for any chosen. These strategies not only help strengthen your own spiritual journey, but also serve as beacons for others. Remember, every action we take, every choice we make, contributes to the greater good. As the chosen, our mission is to spread light, promote truth, and build a world where unity and love prevail. Now, let's talk about the importance of our mission and how we can create a brighter future. Our world is at a tipping point. The forces of duality and separation seem stronger than ever, but there is also a growing awareness and desire for change. We are in a spiritual battle, but this battle is not about defeating an external enemy. It is about transforming our collective consciousness and rediscovering our essential unity. You, the chosen, are the pioneers of this transformation. Each of you has a unique and vital role to play. Your courage to question, your ability to love, and your determination to seek the truth are the most powerful weapons in this spiritual war. And when you unite, your strengths multiply exponentially. Remember, this is not a solitary journey. Although each of us has our own path, we are all connected. When you awaken to the truth, you light a flame that can guide others. When you practice kindness, you plant seeds of compassion that can grow and flourish in hearts around the world. The future we wish to build is one where unity and love prevail over separation and hate. It is a future where we recognize our interconnectedness and work together to create a more just and harmonious world. This future begins now, with every choice we make and every action we take. Let's imagine for a moment this bright future, a world where people respect and support each other, regardless of their differences, a world where truth is valued and sought after, and where compassion is the natural response to suffering. A world where nature is respected and protected, and where every living being is treated with dignity and love. This vision may seem utopian, but remember, great changes begin with small steps. Every act of kindness, every moment of empathy, every effort to promote unity contributes to this future. And when we look back, we realize that all the great transformations in history started with the courage of a few individuals who refused to accept the status quo. You have this courage, you have this vision, and together, you have the power to transform the world. Ask yourselves every day, how can I be a beacon of light in this world? How can I contribute to unity and love in my community and beyond? Let these questions guide your actions and decisions, because ultimately, the true revolution begins within each of us. Subscribe to our channel and take the time to watch the video playing on the screen.